Hello, everybody. Welcome into Inside the Green Room with Danny Green. I'm Harrison Sanford. We got some breaking news. Of course, we're going to talk about the NBA, the in-season tournament going on. There's a streak happening between LeBron James and Steph Curry that I want to get Danny's opinion on. Kevin Durant has been mad at people who have been in his DMs. We'll explain all that later, and we'll talk about Tyrese Haliburton in a moment. But first, Danny, I got an update for you. For you. So if you guys didn't know, during a recent Lakers game, a fan got on the court and had a chance to win 55 racks by hitting the half-court shot. Before he took the shot, he said, I do. What did he say? I do this?
Yeah. He said something very, not say cocky, but
he was cocky. No, he was cocky.
He was a little confident. You know, this is what I do type thing. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, that's what he said. He said, this is what I do.
I'm ready for this type thing. I'm like, all right, let's see what you got.
He said, this is what I do. So he takes the half-court heave, and he absolutely misses it. But what's even worse is that he hobbled after, fell to the ground, grabbed the back of his heel, which for anybody who knows, who saw the video or who can hear, who knows how it feels to grab the back of your heel when you're playing basketball, it feels like it was an Achilles pop. However, Danny, I have some breaking news for you. According to ESPN's Dave McMenamin, this is his tweet from Tuesday night. Some news we can all feel good about. The Lakers half-court shot promo participant from last game is fine, I'm told. No torn Achilles, no major injuries, just ultimately a tweak. Hey, bro, I almost don't believe that because the way he went down, and it looked like the Achilles was gone.
Boy, it tumbled crazy. It looked like it for sure popped. Basketball guys gave the sniper went and got him. This is what I do. They said, "Oh, really? This is what you do? Okay." You don't warm up. I don't know what age he is, but the gentleman didn't look like he didn't look old, but he said the reaction looked like he probably needed to warm up. He looked like he's at the age where he needs to stretch, get warm up in. And when you don't, you go out there and think that you just hot. You're gonna pop something, and that's exactly what happened. It looked like sniper caught him like some pop. He said, and then. The guy hosting didn't know what the hell to do. I'm like, is this like a prank for the crowd? They're like, oh, give it up for Anthony. They're trying to keep the crowd in it, and he's just hobbling. I'm like, oh, he definitely popped something, bro.
He's like, get up. He's like, get up, Anthony. Get up, Anthony. Yeah. And he couldn't get up.
One more time for Anthony. He's all right. But I'm like, nah, he popped something. I had to rewind it. I watched it live. I'm like, oh, what the hell's happening? I'm like, is this a joke? I'm like, oh, this is serious. Popped. I thought he popped, but for just a tweak, man, his reaction was too crazy.
Nah, you can't go that. If it was just a tweak, he can't be acting like that for just a tweak. Especially for the people like me who really tore their Achilles. I laughed at first, and then I really started to feel bad for him because I'm like, that recovery process is about to be real.
Until it was not. Yeah, until it was not. I was like, damn, he might have tore something. Like that might not be funny, but now it's a tweak. It's like, man, you can't be introducing yourself like this is what I do, and then you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
be carried out on a stretcher for a little ankle tweak. Like, nah, son.
You might as well have popped something at that point. Yeah.
At this point, you had the whole crowd, the whole staff helping you. Like, damn, somebody they like you might as well get the 55K. He gonna need it for health reasons. You might as well give it to him at this point. But I'm like,
for sure,
ankle tweak, nah.
I will say this to all of our audience: as a man who tore his Achilles, please. Again, this has happened to me. If you are flat-footed, don't mess around. Make sure you wear some foot insoles, some heel lifts,
heel cups, man. Yep.
Some heel cups, some heel lifts, whatever you need. It will definitely help you. One of my biggest regrets, my ex-girlfriend, and we're gonna talk about women later on in the show too, Danny. Okay. My ex-girlfriend, one time we were hanging out. We were in Indiana. Yeah, we were in Indianapolis, and she goes, "Harrison, do you realize you got flat feet?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And I brushed it off. A couple months later, tear my Achilles. I'm not wearing heel lifts. I don't have the proper arch support. So for those of you who are listening, look at your feet. If you got flat feet, admit it and do something about it, because you don't want to be walking around on and with every surface feeling like concrete. And that's exactly what it felt like for me for about 6 months. 6 months. Before walking felt like a pleasure again. I didn't realize how much I missed walking, Danny, until I eventually got it back.
So how long were you not walking for? Trust me, I've been in the same boat too. It took me a while to learn how to walk again too.
No, I was walking. I could walk like maybe then like 2 days later, but
Okay.
I couldn't I didn't enjoy walking. It was
Yeah,
a
you
pain. I'm
couldn't
like, oh, I
because
gotta walk.
yeah, no. No, I'm with you. You take it for granted when you have an injury like that, how much you use it or how much you like. I guess not say enjoy walking, but just like the little things. And when I had to start over, it took me a couple months to get out of my cast boot, whatever, my knee brace. But yeah, get off the crutches. When I was walking without crutches, you like, all right, let me go for a stroll and enjoy the sun. You appreciate it much more when you come off or come back from something like that.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Also too, I also wanted to let people know, or at least express my excitement, Danny. I know we're going to talk about the NBA in-season tournament games, but there is something else on TV that is finally capturing my attention outside of sports. And today, at least Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving, is the debut. If I wanted to watch the Netflix Squid Games reality show, your excitement level for that?
I'm not a
Come
big
on,
reality
bro.
show. I'm not a big
Come
reality show
on.
fan, man. Squid Games was a great TV series. I think we should have kept it
Yeah.
at that. I think this will be funny and fun, but it's the reality TV to me is such an oxymoron. Like it's such a hypocritical category because I feel like it's not
Because it doesn't feel
reality.
like reality. Yeah, it's not
It
reality
seems
anymore.
very staged. It seems very, they might do it more than once. I don't know, but at the same breath, I said it is fun. It's gonna be funny. It's gonna be fun putting people see how their brain works. And sometimes, I mean, the contestants always make the show, right? It depends on the type of people they
Yes.
bring on the show, what kind of IQ they have. So I would love for them to bring on somebody with some IQs and not just a bunch of, I'm not going to call them a name, but people that aren't as
Yeah.
high IQ that just do silly stuff and just looking to get famous being viral for doing silly stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the world we live in. Okay,
Mm.
real quick. Now we'll get to basketball in just a moment. Your Hall of Fame reality TV show, and I'll say mine first.
Oh
I would have
God.
said Real World because we grew up on Real World.
Mm-hmm.
However, because of the pandemic, I watched at least 40 seasons. People were bored. At least 40 seasons of Survivor. And I must
Okay.
admit, Survivor was damn good. That's
Yeah.
my Hall of Fame reality TV show. What's yours?
There's that many seasons. Survivor has that many seasons?
Bro,
Like 40,
over
40 episodes?
40. Over 40 seasons.
Seasons or episodes?
No, seasons, my friend. And I
Well,
know. I said we were
how many
bored. I was bored during the pandemic.
yeah. But how many episodes are in the season? Like 3, 4? Like I
No,
don't.
bro. I'm talking about like a good 12 to 16.
Sheesh. All right, man. That's a lot of watching. I'm not. I said I'm not. I've never been a reality fan, so I can't give you an all-time fair. I used to go back when it first started. The ones that I actually watched when it first started, when I was a younger teenager, I guess, or a younger adult.
Yeah.
Uh, Flavor of Love was one of the guys that started it. Flavor Flav.
Flavor of Love.
Just, just hilarious, man. Excuse me, French. Him, and then I'm trying to think of like if there was another one. And Real Chance at
You
Love
didn't
with
get down
Chance,
with you
the
didn't get down
twins,
with
the
the
two twin
gym
rappers.
tan laundry.
No.
What
So there
about
was
what about making the band? Making the band was a reality show.
making the band. So I was saying, so the twins, the Real Chance of Love with Chance, and the twin rappers, whatever. The not Chance the rapper now, but there's another Chance back then. So that was
I don't
one,
remember this
and
one.
making the band. So it was similar reality love show with the two twins, just like Flavor of Love. They were like right after Flavor Flav, and then making the
Okay.
band was another one. So making the band, Diddy having him doing Wiles walking to Brooklyn to get the cheesecake. Yo, it's just
Yeah.
having a sing off like
Dylon.
yeah, back
Yeah,
in the
yeah, yeah.
days, eating nasty. They all fighting in the crib, crazy. So yeah, I mean, I used to watch those. So those are just me as a youngin actually be introduced to reality TV and thought some of it was funny. But after a while, it's like I can't condone this. I can't watch this
Yeah.
anymore. Like this is
Yeah.
silliness.
Reality TV definitely has soared since then. What didn't feel like reality though, Danny, was the score Tuesday night between the Indiana Pacers and the Atlanta Hawks. 157 for the Pacers, 152 for the Atlanta Hawks. Tyrese Haliburton, 37 points, 16 to 6, 9 of 15 from 3. This dude is absolutely cooking, Danny. I saw the stat the other day. His assists are leading to more points than Joel Embiid is actually scoring himself. Joel Embiid is leading the league in scoring. However, Tyrese Haliburton, just off his assist alone, is getting more points from that than Joel Embiid is actually scoring, on top of the fact that Haliburton is scoring himself. It's out of control what he's doing right now. They are playing at a crazy level right now with their pace. First and foremost, your reaction to the score, to the game. I know you as somebody who prides himself on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's probably that's exactly my reaction. I didn't watch the game. Usually I get a chance to catch some of them. I didn't get a chance to watch this game. I did see some of the highlights. My first thought was, where's the defense? You know what I'm saying? Like, but it seemed like an exciting game. Then they were like, this is one of the highest scoring games. And I looked up and obviously people put up the Clippers versus Sacramento when they both were in the 170s. So this was the highest over-under game type thing they had over on a game in regulation. But I think they went into double overtime with the Clippers, Sacramento, I think.
Yeah, that was overtime. Yeah.
So regulation to be in the 150s, like, damn, where's the defense? But it looked like a fun game. Like, guys are actually scoring, playing well, you know, and getting up and down. But Tyrese's ball in Indiana, I think, is a surprise of the league. Them in Minnesota. Minnesota being number one in the West right now. Indiana balling and beating teams and playing at a high level and scoring at a high clip has been the surprise for me in the East. So, and Tyrese is the leader of that charge. He's absolutely balling. And all those guys, they're getting production from off the bench from everywhere. They're getting everybody chipping in, everybody's eating, everybody's playing well and having fun. And they're actually winning some games. So I expect to see them in the playoff this year. They'll be, I think, you know, top six, at least six, seven seed. I would like to expect.
Yeah, I would expect to see them at the very least in the play-in scenario. As of right now, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 players averaging in double digits right now. They have at least 5 players shooting over 38% or better from the 3-point line. They are absolutely cooking. As you look at now, you said it, you could see them in the playoffs. I don't know if their brand of basketball is going to win them games in the playoffs, win them a series in the playoffs. But Tyrese Haliburton himself, it was interesting. Going into the season, everybody was talking about, okay, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, after having the year he had last year, he's a top 10 player in the NBA. Now looking at Tyrese Haliburton, again, looking at that stat that I proposed to you, looking at the work that he's been doing so far this season, where would you put him in terms of guards in the NBA?
I said he's on another level right now. Last year, this season, he's been absolutely balling. Last year, I thought he was great. I thought he played well. I still don't think the numbers or what they did record-wise was good enough for him to be an all-star. This season, hands down, no question, he's an all-star. And I wouldn't say he's on the brink, but from a year or two, he could be an MVP caliber conversation. He's an MVP caliber player. But this season, he's definitely an all-NBA team. He's got to be, at least second team all-NBA team. He's making that jump that Shai is making. Shai had made last year, I feel like. So he's in that conversation. And I think another year or two from now, Shai is one of those guys that are in an MVP conversation. And I could see that happen. OKC, the way they're balling. So, he's right on the right path. And that 260 is looking like a good deal that Indiana got him for.
Yeah, honestly, it's crazy. As I was watching the game last night and I saw what LaMelo Ball did the night before, I'm thinking to myself, hold on. Are we having a change of the guard here between Shai, LaMelo, Tyrese Haliburton, Tyrese Maxey? Like, you look at those 4 guards and you put, they're point guards. So I could obviously include a guy like Anthony Edwards if I want to. But for the purpose of this argument, I won't. But LaMelo Ball, a point guard, Tyrese Haliburton and Maxey, point guards, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And you look at the older point guards in the league right now, Steph Curry, Dame Lillard. Trying to think who else is. Chris Paul's passes. Drew Holiday. Yes, Danny, I'm starting to feel like this younger guard
is starting to take over.
It might have taken over.
Yeah, D'Angelo Russell. You're looking at I'm trying to think of the point guards that are out there.
He's not. I'm talking about the young. Like, I'm talking about 4 years, 4 years or less, 5 years or less.
Is Luka a point guard?
Luka's just on another. He's already been established. That's already understood. But these younger guards, I think they're like they're at the point now.
They're making a leap bit quicker than I expected them to.
Yes.
So I said there's certain things that I'm surprised by, certain things I'm not surprised by. Like, I'm not surprised by Tyrese Maxey. I've seen it up close. I know what he can do. Desmond Bane, I got a chance to be teammates with these guys, so I know how good they were when Tyrese signed his extension. When Bane signed his extension, I wasn't surprised by it. And they're ultimately probably going to get those guys for cheap. And I knew at some point these guys would be all-stars. At some point. I did not think it would happen this year for Tyrese Maxey. He's going to be an all-star this year. And this is what, year 4 for him? For him to be I thought like he's maybe a year or 2 away, to adjusting and adapting to it. He's in MVP conversations, early this season, and he's definitely going to be all-star. So he'll maybe all NBA, second or third team. We'll see how that turns out for him. But the way Philly's playing and the way he's playing, the production-wise and the percentage and efficiency he's doing it at while helping carry the team with Joel, yeah, he's going to be an all-star this year. And I said I didn't see it happening that soon, and especially with Tyrese Haliburton. I didn't see him making this jump. Just like Shea, all those guys. I've seen them, maybe Shea will be an MVP guy in 2 or 3 years. Nah, he's like, my time is now. I'm doing it now. Tyrese Maxey, I'm doing it. Tyrese Haliburton. I'm not all like, he had a lot to say about our guy Wally Zerbiak when he called him a wannabe all-star. I'm a wannabe all-star. Okay, he's showing I'm a little more than a wannabe all-star. So he's cooking, man. They're all cooking. They're playing at a high level, and it's fun to watch.
It's making me start to think, Danny, when we were growing up, I remember the notion was that a basketball player is in his prime, usually around age 30 or so. But the way these guys are playing, it may make me feel like the prime might be a bit earlier because of just what they're able to do athletically. And we could talk about it. Like I feel like when we were coming up, it felt like people were just getting their jump shot later. They get their jump shot later on in their career. Kobe got his jump shot later on in his career. Jordan got his jump shot later on in his career. LeBron really started shooting a lot of threes later on in his career. But because the three-point shot is so important now, like you almost can't get into the league without a three-point shot, it's like the prime could come a lot earlier because the skill, obviously you still need the IQ, but the skill could be is more present now for younger players than it ever was before. And then obviously you're at the peak or close to your peak of your athleticism because you're young.
For sure. I definitely agree with that. The game has evolved. The game has changed a lot. And I was talking about it today. We watch a lot of other podcasts. Big shout out to all other players that do their podcasts. I was watching Gilbert Arenas. I joined his show one time. Big shout out to Gil. He had him and Rashad McCants were talking about Kevin Durant. Why is he not being as hyped up or talked about as much as LeBron James? Because ultimately he could go down as one of the best or the greatest to ever do it. And, a lot of people are like, we'll never see another KD again. But then Wemby comes across, then Chet comes across. And it's like these guys, because the path that KD, he had paved the way for them, you can allow skinny big men. Because back in the day, a guy like Chet being a 4 or 5, it would have been tough to play in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a different type of game. Now the stretch 4 small ball, Draymond has changed that game. KD has changed the game to where big men or skinnier guards or skinnier big men now could play in the perimeter and also be a very effective both inside and outside on the court. So you see Chet, you see Wemby, you see how these guys are evolving and playing. It's a different type of game and skill level. You don't see, we thought we never seen another 7-footer move like KD because you don't see 7-footers get away with being that skinny in our league. But now it's like, because how good he was, how he could handle it, and because now it's small ball, you could be whatever size and be in this league now because of the skill level. And that's also with guards. Like I said, back in the day, guys would look at a guy like Trae Young and be like, nah, he wouldn't make it. He's too small. Because of the skill level, the IQ, and because of three-point line, how much it's evolved, it's like, anybody could play. It doesn't matter your size, how strong or skinny you are. Like there's a place for you. You can figure out your niche. So yeah, man, it's evolving at a high clip. A lot more scoring. I do wish I could see more defensive side of it though, because I'm more of a defensive player. I'd love to see more pride taken on that side and more competitiveness, and defense have more freedom to play defense. Because I think with the rules and how things are now, it's harder for guys to play. Like you could barely touch. Like now, offense they're creating and initiating the contact and still getting calls. And defensive guys, it's hard to stop anybody with that. The guys they're too skilled. But I would love for them to go back to some of the old ways. They did do this year. They did the flopping thing, but I have not seen it called not once during the regular season. And
I've seen
preseason,
it. I saw it in the regular season.
There's a lot of people flopping out there still, and they're trying to take that out of the game for take away the referees. So guys tricking referees and keeping the game a little more physical, and not having theatrical reactions. There are technicals that are being called for BS stuff, but the flopping, we could try to take that out of the game, and just the softness and allowing defense to actually play defense. That's what I would like to see more of.
Yeah, I don't blame you with that. You mentioned Chet Holmgren. When we go to the pick and roll, we're going to talk about him and as well as Kevin Durant because he's not happy about people being in his DMs. We'll talk about that in just a moment. Be right back. Welcome back to Inside the Green Room. Harrison, Sanford, Danny Green. You guys know the vibes. Let's run the pick and roll. Why don't we? Here's a tweet from Kevin Durant. When I get you paid, you don't DM me and send a small percentage to my Cash App. But when them parlays don't hit, I'm every name in the book. Y'all ain't real. That is Kevin Durant. Obviously, betting is a big thing now in the NBA. Yes. First and foremost, Danny, how aware are NBA players aware of their prop lines if they're favorites or underdogs going into a game? And I'm sure you've had crazy ass fans in your DMs when you don't 100%. Hit enough threes or whatever it might be.
I think no. I would say a majority of the NBA players are not aware. There are some guys that do like to gamble on others or like, friendly bets with other sports and their friends. So their friends are gamblers and they keep them, they tell them with the fan, they may have friends that keep them updated with it, but most guys don't know, don't care. But so we hear about it when we don't hit the mark for you, but we don't hear about it when we do hit the mark. And KD's like, keep that same energy. Don't come with me with the BS of, oh, you didn't, but I just won you thousands of dollars or a couple $100, that type of thing. And I'm still waiting on my gift from Floyd back in the day because I won Floyd a couple $100,000. I think it was back when we played the Lakers.
Yeah.
I hit a shot. I hit a shot against, I think it was against LA. It was against the Lakers. I hit a shot. It was over, rest in peace, Cole. I had a 3-ball and we got the win. I think he bet on us as a team to win by a certain amount. And I think I helped his bet. And I think he won like a couple $100,000. So I'm like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Let me get a little.
That would be a little something.
Nah, you know what I'm saying? But nah. But yeah, so I agree with KD. It's like, don't slide in our inbox complaining when you lose because you don't slide in our inbox, complimenting us or giving us a share of 5% or 10% of what you're making when we do hit the marks for you.
Yeah. I understand the frustration. Trust me, Danny, as a bettor, I understand the frustration. You're like, KD scored 20 points tonight. How'd he stop at 19? Like, what the hell? Like, Danny, I know you're not a bettor, but when you hang it all up,
you look at a guy's numbers, you go, this guy, he's getting 10 rebounds a game for the last 3 games. He has a safe bet for 7.5 over. You know, like that's, and then he gets stuck at 7 or 6.
Gets stuck at 7.
Like, and he has 6 in the first half, and the next year he only ends up with 7.
Those be the worst, Danny. I'm telling you.
Like, dude, did you just stop playing?
Nothing worse, but the dude is on pace. And then the second half, they just go quiet. I'm like, hey, bro. And that's when the bettor's like, yo, somebody must have told him.
Just the time that you bet on the person is when they don't fucking come through. I get it. But it's unpredictable because you never know if an injury may happen. If a blowout may happen. If a guy, they're up 30, he may not play the whole fourth.
Yeah.
It's just an unpredictable thing. And it's game by game. It's different. And a lot of times you can kind of predict like some guys' habits. Habitually, this guy usually scores double digits. Habitually, this guy gets, this amount of rebounds or assists. A lot of games is going to be where they don't. And maybe not a lot, but a good 20 to 25. But if they average that, it's like, there's a bad night, 20% of the time for most guys.
I'm not going to give out my whole strategy on this pod, but I will say to those who are listening who do place a wager or two, always pay attention to the pace rankings, the pace ratings. If a team is 29th in pace, playing a team that is 3rd in pace, then you should probably look at some overs in the prop market. I'll give an example of one, and then we'll actually go to the actual question. The other day, FanDuel Sportsbook had James Harden at 7.5 assists versus the Spurs. The last game they played before that, James Harden played against the Houston Rockets. The Houston Rockets are 27th in pace. He still had 7 assists. The Spurs are top 5 in pace, and his line was still the same with assists. So do the math, y'all. If he got 7 assists as the primary point guard for the Clippers in a slow-paced game, what the hell is he going to do when he plays against a team with top 5 in pace? He's going to have more assists. He finished the game with 10 assists. It was an easy hit, an easy thing to hit. So just think about pace, guys, when you guys make your bets. With that being said, I'm going to ask you for the better bet, Danny. LeBron James has scored 10 points in 1,140 straight games. Yeah. Steph Curry has hit a 3 in 233 consecutive games. Which streak ends first? One more time. LeBron James has scored at least 10 points in 1,140 straight games. Steph Curry has hit a 3 in 233 consecutive games. Which streak ends first?
Man, it's a tough one because, Bron is getting up there in age, and I thought that's a streak that would never end for him because he's always going to be double digits if he stays healthy throughout the whole game. That's where the tricky part comes in. Steph as well. But granted, I do hope that they all stay healthy throughout every game that they play. Bron's having that streak for 1,100 games, Steph for 200 games. That means somebody has stopped Steph before. And I think Steph streak probably ends before Bron's, honestly.
But he only needs one. See, but the Steph only needs one shot to get the job done. LeBron still needs probably, he can get it all at the free throw line, but he needs to make more than likely field goals to get to 10 points.
I still think I see him, unless he gets a major injury, I still see him pushing through any little tweak. And I've seen him happen in Phoenix. Started the game, he got hit, his knee, calf, shin, whatever it was. And we're like, damn, he might be out for the game. Came back, ended up having 30. I still see him pushing through enough to where he's going to get double digits regardless of what game it is and maybe be hurt the next day and be like, I stressed something in my foot or my ankle. But he will be on that court and he's going to get enough free throws and enough baskets to where he's going to get 10 points. I can see a team or a game where Steph is probably by himself or other people are hurt. And the team is just, I wouldn't say boxing 1 or triangle 2 like Nick Nurse does, but they could limit him. And it said, who knows if an injury may happen. I hope that God it doesn't. Who knows if there's a blowout that happens, he doesn't play the whole fourth quarter. I think the last time that it did happen, I'm trying to recall, it was a couple of years ago. I think that was the scenario. I'm trying to remember who did it, but we'd have to look that up and find out who stopped him from making the 3.
Yeah, but I have to look into that one. It was a while ago for sure. All right, next one. So last weekend, Chet Holmgren did his thing, 36 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists as the Oklahoma City Thunder completed a back-to-back win against the Golden State Warriors. He hit he hit a 3 that sent the game into overtime, eventually winning. And I haven't checked recently, but the way he's playing right now, it would seem like he should be the favorite for Rookie of the Year. Now, we're not going to compare the two players. Well, we are, but you also have to take their circumstances into consideration. Who has the better career, Victor Wembanyama or Chet Holmgren? Let's not talk about Rookie of the Year because there's still a lot of games to play this year. Better career, Wembanyama, Chet Holmgren. Obviously, Holmgren already has a baked-in situation with a nice little roster. J-Dub, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Josh Giddey. And obviously, if you look at the Spurs roster right now, looks like they have a long ways to go, particularly at the point guard position for maybe Wemby to hit his heights. Who do you think has the better career? Understanding that it's not only about them, it's about the team that they're around.
For sure. I probably say I'm going to go with Chet because I think he's going to have a longer longevity. He's going to have a better longevity than Wemby. It's hard to see. It's hard to predict. Or you very rarely see 7'4" guys last very long in the league. Yao was a rare one. I think he did 8-9 years. He had some good years throughout that. And also, so the team-wise, I think that OKC is going to be better for a little bit longer than San Antonio. I still San Antonio has a ways to go, but I think they can get better sooner. I don't know if OKC can keep everybody.
Yes, that's going to be their big concern.
But they will be good. He will be good, and I think they'll have some. I think he'll have a little bit more longevity than Wemby. It's tough. It's tough to say. It's tough to predict. I think they have similar careers, but I'm probably gonna go Chet with the longevity over Wemby.
Yeah, I'll reserve my answer. I believe you too, but if they get a point guard in this draft, that could be one of the best point guards in the NBA or a top half point guard in the NBA, then maybe it could lean towards Wemby. But right now, it's got to be Chet. The way that that system is set up right now in OKC, they got things going. All right, last part of the pick and roll. Do you believe this or not? Bam Adebayo limits opponents to 16.7 field goal percentage in pick and rolls and 21% in isolation plays.
I do not. You said 16% in pick and rolls. Is that what you said?
Bam Adebayo limits opponents to 16% field goal shooting in pick and rolls and 21% shooting in isolation plays as a defender
this year.
Mm-hmm.
I do not believe it. No.
It is a fact according to NBA stats, which is absolutely nuts when you think about how often the pick and roll is in the NBA and how often you score 16%. And which is crazy because
it's nuts.
Yeah, and because
he may not be getting that many ISOs. There's not many people ISO him. There's not many post-up moves happening. He might not playing Joel or Jokic yet, and there's not a bunch of post-ups happening outside of those two guys where somebody's going to feed a guy and ISO him. Pick and rolls happen so often. 16% is very low. That's just very hard to believe. But Bam is an unbelievable defender. Shout out to him, man. He's killing. He's balling. Kudos to him. He's I wouldn't say single-handedly, but he's definitely keeping them above water and keeping them afloat because Miami had a rough start to start the season. Now they're kind of finding their way a little bit and keeping keeping the ship, rerouting the ship to keep them, on a good track and reroute the ship because it was getting ugly.
Yeah. And they're getting some good minutes out of Jaime Jaquez too, the rookie out of UCLA as well. All right. Do you believe this or not? The Orlando Magic are number 1 in defensive rating in the NBA.
I do not, but I think I saw that on TV the other day, which is hard to believe. They've been playing pretty good this year, but it's hard. I don't believe it, but they've been playing good recently. I know that they were number 1 before. I forget who they played the other night. And they beat somebody up the other night? They beat the hell out of somebody?
They beat they beat the Pacers the other night.
They did.
Yeah.
They beat the hell out of them. So yeah, I mean, now it's believable. It's believable now after watching that because Indiana scores a lot. Yeah. And if you beat them by like that and you hold them under 120, if you hold them under 110, it's like, yo, you're playing some pretty good defense because they get up and down and they're shooting at a high clip and scoring at a high clip. So I would never thought that if you told me that before the season, I would have thought you were on drugs. But yeah, it's hard to believe, but they're doing it.
Yeah, as of right now, they're number 1 in defensive rating, 106.4. Right behind them, at 106.5, the Minnesota Timberwolves, then the Celtics, Thunder, Knicks, Rockets, Clippers, Nuggets, Heat, and then Lakers. Those are the top 10 teams in defensive rating. You want to take a guess at the top 5 in offensive rating real quick?
Yeah, I can take a quick guess.
Okay.
I'm going to go Indiana's in the top 5 for sure.
Indiana's number 1. You get 3 strikes.
Sacramento up there?
Sacramento had the best offensive rating of all time last year, but not this year. Not so far. Obviously, they lost De'Aaron Fox for a couple of games. That probably impacts their rating.
Ooh, who's scoring a lot? Philly is up in the top 5.
Philly is number 3 in offensive rating.
Boston?
Well, Boston is number 6.
Oh, okay.
So you got 2 right, 2 wrong.
Ooh, I'm trying to think. Who else is scoring at a high clip this year? Minnesota?
Minnesota is not even in the top 10. Top 5 in offensive rating. Pacers, number 2. Mavericks, number 3. Sixers, number Dallas. 4. The Atlanta Hawks, number 5. The Milwaukee Bucks.
Yeah, so Milwaukee would have been my next guess, but I missed Dallas. I wasn't even thinking Dallas was scoring a lot. Milwaukee was another good, but my next guess. And Atlanta, I wouldn't have guessed Atlanta, but Atlanta has been scoring a lot.
Atlanta has been, and they've been giving it a lot. They've been giving it up a lot.
Giving up a lot too. Yeah.
Pause. All right. All right. We're gonna go to break real quick. When we come back, it is you guys might be hearing this around Thanksgiving or on Thanksgiving the day after. Dave's gonna tell us what it's like to celebrate Thanksgiving in the NBA. And are NBA players just like us too? Are they looking for Black Friday deals? We'll talk about that next, right after the break. Welcome back to Inside the Green Room. Harrison, Sanford, Danny Green. We're going to talk about holiday season in the NBA, but real quick, Danny, I said I was going to have my rant. So I'm going to have my rant.
Let's hear it. Oh, we've been waiting for this since last week.
So listen. Okay. Earlier this summer, I got upset because there's a woman that I was dating or used to date who texted me. She goes, we were having a little conversation. She goes, you know what? You're not romantic enough.
And you took offense?
I took offense to it. I'm like,
Rightfully so.
romantic. Yeah. I'm like, hold on, wait a second. Maybe I just wasn't being romantic with your ass. Like,
Yeah.
you can't just be romantic
Maybe
with
you
everybody.
didn't deserve the romanticism. Just like you making me wait for a certain. I don't give you everything on the first couple dates. I can't give you everything.
Yeah.
So
exactly. So, anyways, now there's a woman I've been dating, and I took her. I helped her celebrate her birthday like 2 weeks ago, and I pulling out like dinner reservations.
Now it's a challenge. You got to meet the challenge. So you pulling out all the stops. Okay.
You getting flowers, and first of all, I don't understand flowers. Can I just say that I don't understand?
Men don't care.
I'm buying this thing that's gonna die 3 days later. What am I doing? I can spend that money on other things. Yeah. I know it might look good, but it dies. Why don't I just get something that lives?
It's the thought that counts, Harrison. You're thinking of her, and you made a thoughtful action that made her feel special.
I could be thoughtful with other gestures. Why does it have to be this one thing that can't live?
We don't know why it's significant. Like somebody back in the day made this the standard to, show emotional romanticism or that you care. This is the staple. For some odd reason, I don't know who made this up. Whoever that idiot, I'm gonna say idiot, but whoever that person was really screwed us guys that don't care about flowers. But as I said, I get certain things, but yes, it could be other gestures you can find that you can spend money on, like food, a drink, fruit.
Yeah.
An edible.
Thoughtful gift. I do
an edible arrangement. Edible arrangement. That's
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Come on, man. I'd rather get somebody a plant. Because a plant can live. Yeah. You can have the plant for the rest of your life.
Well, flowers are considered, I guess, somewhat plants, right?
Yeah, but they die. Yeah.
If you take care of them, they can live a little longer.
So, but now, Danny, my birthday is coming up. So now I'm kind of curious to see, and she'll listen to the podcast, so she ain't gonna know. I'm curious to see what happens on the other end for me, because I did the romance thing. I was very romantic. I was very thoughtful, and then I thought to myself, Danny, I was like, hold on, women challenge men to be romantic, but are women romantic?
Some are. I won't put them all in the category. I feel like
I'm sorry. Yeah, no offense to anybody out there. No,
I think
about it. We buy the flowers. We treat to dinners.
Yes.
How can a woman be romantic?
It's expected of us.
They receive. I think women receive romance, but they don't really give romance, do they?
Some do. I said some will cook you a meal. Some will, get you a nice foot massage or a back rub or something like that. Men are simple. That's why we don't require much. We don't care for flowers. We like to play our video game. They may let us play our video game. That's their idea of being romantic. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't require as much attention or as much stuff to feel special. We don't care to feel special. They need to feel special. So, but yes, there are some out there that do romantic stuff. So I will not put them all in a category.
I gotta find me one. Because think about it, Danny. As a man, all right, I want to be romantic. I'm a set a nice playlist. You know what I'm saying? I have the lighting right. Maybe I have some candles going on. I'm going to cook I might cook dinner or have dinner somewhere. I might do like a little thoughtful gesture. I might, you always set the scene, right? I think. I don't think, maybe I just need to be romanticized. Maybe I need to have that's what it is.
Well, the challenge is out there on the table. You have to wait and see. See if this one has it or we'll do it. So we'll see if she's a keeper or not. But sometimes you got to challenge. You got to challenge your woman. You got to challenge. You know what I'm saying? But maybe you're just shopping in the wrong areas as well.
My point is, it always feels as if men have to lead the charge or be romantic. Is that? Am I saying that right?
Yep. That's why, because women don't make decisions.
Because we don't ask for romance. That's what it is.
As men, we're supposed to wear the pants and lead the charge and make the decisions. Because when you ask a girl what they want to eat, they don't know what they want to eat. But if you choose for them, then I guess that's part of the romantic. But that's part of you like taking control, and they think that's they adore that or they like that, they appreciate that, and it makes life easier because they're not good with decision making. I'm
just saying, I like to be swept off my feet too. All right. If we live in it, this is a feminist world, right? Everybody's supposed to be equal now. Salary's supposed to be more even now. There's nothing wrong with me getting treated to a nice meal Or a
And
nice romantic night.
Communication is key, kid. You got to voice your opinion in these relationships, in these dating scenarios. Closed mouths don't get fed. So if you require a certain thing, because women will gladly let you know what they need and what they require, what their standards are.
Yeah, you're right.
You
I
need
don't
to let
even
them know
want to
what
be
your standards are.
romance.
Listen, if you wanted this, you better take me to dinner first. You better do this. If you want this, this, and that, I'm not doing that unless you do this. So you better have your
I don't
standards
even
and
want to
voice
be
them.
romance. I just want to know that, like, you know what I'm saying? I just don't want it to always have to be me.
Now you're being like the women. You're like, I want to have to ask you to do this. I want you to want to do this. That's what you're doing.
Yes.
I'm not doing the damn dishes until you tell me to do the dishes. I want you to want to do the dishes. Why the hell would I want to do the dishes? That's what you are. I don't want to be romanced. You're saying you want to be romanced, but then it's I don't want to be romanced. I want you to want to romanticize me.
Yeah, I want you. Yeah, I want you to say. I want you to say. I want to be romantic with you. Yeah.
Well, they can, but you gotta let them know that's what you like. Listen, in the beginning, I like romantic stuff. I like romantic. So treat your boy once in a while if you can. I don't want to have to tell you to do it. So do it on your own. So there you go.
Oh boy. Oh man. All right. And speaking of dinners and all that good stuff. Yeah, Thanksgiving. Yes. What is at Thanksgiving like for for players in the NBA?
Man, so I looked at the Philly schedule because that's who I would have been playing with if I was still on board. And a lot of times, most times, I mean, every year we don't have games. I don't think there's any NBA games on Thanksgiving, so they let us have that.
Yeah.
You're fortunate enough you're able to spend it at home, but a lot of times there's teams that are on the road and you spend it with the team as a group on the road. They find a place for you guys and you eat together. I would have thought, I think Philly is actually coming back. I think they play Minnesota tonight. They come back to spend the day here with their families and then go back on the road to OKC to play them Saturday. Probably make more sense to fly the families there. But if you're on the road, it makes sense to fly your families in during the holidays, wherever road you are, whether it's Christmas or Thanksgiving. If you're not at home, people or teams will fly families in to have a holiday team situation and have the families there to also just not experience the family, but also watch the game and then kind of fly back at the same time. So that's what I would imagine. But a lot of times you're on the road with your team and you don't get a chance to spend it with your family. You wait till you come back or you just do it early before you guys leave, have a dinner. But now they said the league has changed a lot more now where teams and organizations are now flying people in or families in or making sure the team flies back for whatever time they have in between to spend the holidays with the family.
That's not bad. NBA doing it right. All right. And last question. Is the NBA player like all of us, Danny? Are they still looking for Black Friday deals?
100%. I think most of us do our Christmas shopping during Black Friday. It's like, oh, word. I want this, and this. I'm going to wait till Black Friday to get it because I'm going to get it at a cheaper price. And you buy all your Christmas stuff. I can't speak for all of us, but I do know there are a lot more cheaper guys out there than you think in the NBA, and we'll find ways to save $1 to get a discount and to make sure that they get what they want for the cheapest price they can get it for.
I ain't mad at it. Best believe I will be Black Friday shopping myself. But I actually think, Danny, I think I'm turning a new page. I think my Black Friday shopping, outside of gift I'm getting from my family, is going to be dedicated to traveling. I think I'm going to buy some tickets. I'm just going to buy some tickets.
To travel to see games or just vacation?
No, I'm talking about outside of the country.
Do your thing, man. As you should, man. As you should. It's a lovely thing to travel during the holidays, for sure.
No. I'm not going to travel during the holidays. I'm going to buy tickets to travel during I'm going to try and take advantage of this Travel Tuesday. Yeah.
Okay, so there's cheaper tickets. Okay. Well, hopefully the time you're ready to travel, you have somebody there to romanticize you. And you'll have a good romantic trip after the holidays.
Yeah. Or travel solo. Yeah. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Never a bad thing.
Until next time, we'll see you guys. Hope you enjoy the Thanksgiving with your families or your loved ones. And we'll see you back next week. Make sure you find us on social media, on X, Twitter, whatever you guys call it, Green Room Inside, or on Instagram at Inside Green Room. Peace, y'all.
Read, rate, subscribe, review. Deuces.